You've probably seen his name near the top of tournament brackets, Chingotto, the player no one expected to dominate a sport built for giants. If you've ever wondered how he keeps taking down padel's biggest hitters, you're in the right place. Because this isn't luck or a hot streak. This is the story of Federico Chingotto and how he learned to beat the game on his own terms. Padel today is built for power. Taller players, faster courts, louder games. Federico Chingotto stands at just 1.70 m. No big sponsors when he started, no academy pipeline, no European base. Just an obsession with the sport, and a mind wired to read it like chess. Born on the 13th of April 1997 from Olavarría in Buenos Aires province, he grew up far from Spain's professional scene. His nickname came early, El Ratón, the mouse. Not because he was small, but because he never stopped moving. Padel in Olavarría wasn't glamorous. Concrete courts, chain link fences, and cracked lights. His father, Fernando, an amateur player, saw the intensity early. Federico would refuse to leave until he'd solved a shot. Hundreds of repetitions until it was perfect. When it rained, they trained under a tin roof, hitting tennis balls into buckets. It wasn't just coaching, it was persistence. By 13, he was winning local events against adults twice his age. By 15, taking buses across provinces for junior tournaments with one bag and a dream. Those early years built what defines him now: humility and emotional control. His first big break came when he teamed up with another young Argentinian, Juan Teo. Where Chingotto was patience and precision, Teo was fire and power, the perfect balance. They began on the South American circuit, travelling on a tiny budget to chase ranking points. In 2016, still teenagers, they reached main draws in Alicante and Monte Carlo, proof they belonged in Europe. The padel world noticed. By 2017, they were reaching quarterfinals consistently, including deep runs at events like the Barcelona Masters, where they took a set off the world number ones. 2018 brought their first major semi-finals, most memorably in Valladolid, where they stunned Paquito Navarro and Juan Lebron in straight sets. And by 2019, they were fully established amongst the elite, ranked inside the world's top 10 and pushing the sport's biggest names week after week. And then in 2020 came their first World Padel Tour title at La Rozas after their opponents withdrew injured mid-final. A strange ending, but a milestone all the same. Two kids from Argentina, now champions in Europe. And through it all, Chingotto stayed the same: calm, loyal, and deliberate. By the way, if you're enjoying this story, giving the video a quick like really helps more padel fans find it. By 2021, padel was changing quickly. Athletes were taller, training heavier, and the pace was accelerating. While others tried to match the power, Chingotto did the opposite. He slowed the game down. He mastered the lob, the block, the reset, using timing to steal time. Every rally started moving to his rhythm. Fans started calling him the metronome. And off the court, he and his family opened Chingoland, a 3-court club back at home in Olavarría, a local training space for kids who had grown up just like he did. In a sport chasing luxury, he stayed rooted in the community. Then came 2024. Ale Galán, one of padel's most explosive left-side players, needed a new partner. After years alongside Juan Lebron, he wanted consistency. Someone who could stabilize the match and the moment. He called Chingotto. On paper, it was odd. The sport's tallest attacker joining forces with its calmest defender. On court, it was instant chemistry. They reached finals immediately, and then just kept going. 14 consecutive finals, a Premier Padel era record. They won in Miami 2025, becoming the first Premier Padel champions on US soil. Then in Rome and Milan, where they delivered the sport's shock of the season, a 6-0 set over Coelho and Tapia, the first ever against them in Premier Padel. For Galan it was rejuvenation, but for Chingotto it was vindication, proof that intelligence could still rule in a power era. Their strength wasn't just skill, it was trust. Galan attacked knowing Chingotto would tidy up behind him, and Chingotto defended knowing Galan would finish. Old school teamwork with great results. So what actually sets him apart? His shot selection. He almost never picks the wrong option. Tempo control. He manipulates pace mid-rally, forcing bigger players off rhythm. Lob timing. He lobs not to escape, but to bait errors. And composure. Steady heartbeat in a tiebreaker, just as it would be in the warm-up. Ask pros who they'd pick beside them for one tournament, and most say his name, because he makes everyone better. That's his quiet superpower. He grew up idolizing Fernando Balastigian and Maxi Gabriel, players who valued intelligence over flash, and you can see it every time he steps on the court. Federico Chingotto doesn't look like a modern super athlete. He's not tall or loud, but he's changed what consistency means in paddle. A sport built for 6'5" hitters and massive sponsors, he proves that timing, discipline, and teamwork can still reach the very top. He gives every fan and every club player a reason to believe that understanding the game can take you just as far as power ever could. He never tried to match the sport's new mould. He stayed himself, and he proved the world wrong. So what do you think? Has Chingotto changed the mould for good, or is he still the sport's ultimate underdog? Let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe for more deep dive paddle stories and analysis every week. See you next time.